All right. Heads or tails, Gator?
I would go with heads.
He goes with heads, and it is a tail. So I'll receive. I'll go first today.
All right, there you go, Cross Dog. Let's go. Question number 1. UCLA, guys, they're trying to move their home games to SoFi Stadium. Would this help kickstart that program?
I think it would help. It would cut the distance in half, and I think they get a bit of a bump from fans who want to, go for curiosity's sake. What's funny is UCLA is like the Rams. Other schools can take over the Rose Bowl. I'm not so sure Midwest fans would be excited to fly across country to go to SoFi like they are to go to the Rose Bowl and take that stadium over. But, I mean, they have a contract with the Rose Bowl till 2044, and the Rose Bowl isn't letting them go without a fight. And they're arguing breach of contract, and they invested $150 million in the stadium. I think what UCLA needs to do is they have an on-campus stadium, Drake Stadium, which is used for soccer and track and field. It seats 11,000, and it's archaic, okay? Use that site and build an on-campus stadium. It would cost a ton of money, and there's logistical problems, but until they do that, I think SoFi would get a little bump, but I don't know it would help that much. It's closer, but I don't know if it would help that much. I guess my answer is really no until they build that stadium where Drake Stadium is.
I think it definitely helps out. It's a professional stadium. It's an upgraded stadium. They need to do updates to the Rose Bowl, and that's just, it seems, I don't even want to denigrate by saying it's lipstick on a pig, because that's not right. It's a beautiful place. It's an amazing setting. I love it out there.
It's a beautiful pig.
It's a beautiful pig. But the reality is SoFi Stadium's amazing. Absolutely amazing. If I were a high school player, I would be thrilled to death to be able to play my home games in that stadium where not one but 2 professional teams play. I think it's a big selling point.
This would not hurt at all. And I love new progressive type ideas like this. For UCLA, they should definitely do this. In today's college football, most kids are looking for that next level anyways, getting to the pros. And what better way than just to play in a pro stadium right away, right, guys? Plus, I think you're right, Doug, the attendance would get somewhat of a bump, and that would help, just more energy for the students, for the games, all that stuff. Imagine this would work for even the new coach that they're going to have to get after the season here. All right, the first college football rankings came out Tuesday night. What did the committee get right, and what did the committee get wrong?
I think they got the top 4 teams right. I have no quarrel at all with how they're ranked right now. I think when you talk about what they got wrong, I just don't like to see a million SEC teams all bunched up together, because I think it just buys into this narrative that they set up, and I don't think it's right. I think there's 7 SEC teams lined up in the top 12, which seems a bit insane to me. Actually, it might be 6 in the top 12. But here's the good news. It all sorts itself out. Over the next few weeks, I don't think anybody has any reason to be complaining about the first one. Don't do that. Let it play out, because there's plenty of matchups that are going to take place over the next few weeks that are really going to determine what happens. You'll see 2 lost teams turn into 3 lost teams and knock themselves out of the top 12, and then you'll see 1 lost teams or a 2 loss team that has a win over a 1 loss team that puts them up. Everything works itself out.
Yeah, any angst now is wasted, because you're mostly right. What they got right is Texas Tech and Texas A&M are on the opposite sides of the bracket, which keeps my bold-ass prediction alive. The Texas Tech and Texas A&M will battle for the Natty. What they got wrong, Notre Dame is 6-2 and at number 10. Miami is 6-2 with a victory over Notre Dame, and they are number 18. The Irish have 1 quality win at home against USC, and they have 2 losses. 1 by 3 points at Miami and at home against Texas A&M. I don't know how I could see making an argument for Notre Dame ahead of Miami because of Miami's bad losses. But a difference between 10 and 18, that seems something's wrong there.
I think overall they did get the top 12 teams right. I hear the argument, Notre Dame, Miami, Doug, that makes sense, but like you guys also agree with me on this, is it really doesn't matter right now. This is just all for, honestly, just to help market the college football and just get us talking and debating, and which they're doing right now. I think they, like I said, overall got the top 12 right, but I think they got the number 1 team wrong. I think Texas A&M should actually be the number 1 team as far as today we speak for college football rankings, but this will all change. It will all sort itself out, but that's the only thing I would have changed is Texas A&M would be number 1 in my book. All right, Wisconsin plays Washington this weekend. Guys, where would you rather go to school, Madison or Seattle?
So Big Ten campuses are great, and I've been to all of them for a football game with one exception, and that is Oregon. I've been to Oregon's campus, and I've been to their football stadium. I wasn't there for a game. I think you can make a strong argument that these are the best two, Washington and Wisconsin, the best campuses. And if you want to fight about this, we can step outside. Two of my kids got accepted to both those schools, and I went and visited Wisconsin and Washington and was ready to commit. I mean, they're both beautiful. But if I have to pick one, this is tough. It's Madison. I'd rather be in Madison than Seattle, but Seattle's pretty great.
Look, I've never been to Seattle, full disclosure. Never been there, only read about it, seen stuff on it. You know, apparently there's a fish market, a coffee shop or two. I have been to Madison, and I had an amazing time in Madison. And one of the reasons I had an amazing time, another full disclosure moment, I have two cousins that live there that I'm close to. So, yeah, I really like Madison. I like the whole town is amazing. It's a beautiful campus. There's a couple of lakes that are right there that are great. And I'm not counting on like a million days of rain like you do in dreary old Seattle. Yeah. And I don't drink coffee, so it really doesn't appeal to me that much. Would I like to go to a game there? Sure. Go to school there? I don't want to go to school anywhere. I'm done with school. All right? But if I had to do my time over again, I'd want to do it in Madison and not in Seattle.
So here's a third perspective. I've been to neither college campuses, okay? I've been to both states, but nothing to do with college football. With that being said, I mean, I'm sure Camp Randall, Wisconsin's campus is amazing. That's what everyone says. The draw seems to be all the time. Everyone tells me the drinking. I feel like you can drink at any major university, especially in the Big Ten, which is, you know, where Washington is now. Washington is the choice for me. You don't have to drink coffee, Gator. I know it sounds crazy, but you can go there and not drink coffee, and I think you can still enjoy yourself. Yeah. I'll take the Pacific Northwest, and I think the views are incredible. Doug, you've been there, obviously. Yep. The water right there next to the stadium, amazing. I'm taking Washington. All right, UConn's quarterback is in his 7th year of college football. What is your reaction to something like this?
Joe Fagnano is the quarterback's name. 6'4", 225-pound senior. I feel like it shouldn't say senior. I feel like it should say doctoral candidate because 7 years, dude. 7 years. He started his first 4 years at Maine. Or actually, his first 4 years of his college journey were spent at Maine. Obviously, there's some injuries that took place. He's got the stupid COVID year also. My reaction is it's absolutely flat out ridiculous that the college athlete is still able to compete after their 7th year on a campus. I think it's dumb as all hell. That being said, when you look at what Fagnano has done, in the last 2 years while at UConn, he has thrown for 42 touchdowns and 4 interceptions. This year, he's got 22 touchdowns and 0 picks, and he's thrown for 2,500 yards while completing nearly 70% of his passes. Is this guy actually going to be a possible professional candidate? Is this a Chris Winkie plan? What's going on here?
Okay, I think it's fine. I watched DeQuan Finn, the quarterback from Miami of Ohio, last night. He was at Toledo for 5 years and 1 year at Baylor. He's in his 7th year. Of his previous 6, only 3 years were not redshirt years, injury or otherwise. So of all the changes to the college game, guys playing into their 7th year when they've had injuries is way down the list of changes that bother me. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I don't like it. I think if I had taken over the czar of college football, I say you get 5 years max no matter what. I don't care if you're hurt, you're transferred, whatever it is. You get 5 years, and then you're done. He's not a 7th-year senior, Gator. He's a 7th-year senior citizen. And if college football wants to start a new power conference, how about the AARP for all these old guys? All right, guys, it's our weekly pick and upset in the top 25 this weekend.
Okay, I'm not sure I love any upset, but the one I'm eyeing, the ranked team that better show up, Oregon is at Iowa. Cross country, Iowa was 6-2. And if they beat Oregon, I think they move up into the playoff ranking. Do they basically pilfer Oregon's spot in the playoff? And Kinnick is a very tough place to play. So if forced, I'll take Iowa over Oregon.
Yeah, I was eyeballing that one too, but I went with a different matchup. It's a nooner, and that may play against it, but I'm still going to stick with it. BYU is number 7 in the country. They're taking on number 8 Texas Tech. Texas Tech's the home team, and Texas Tech is favored by 10.5 points in this game. I like the Cougars. They're getting the running back for this game. They're undefeated. They see themselves well outside of the top 4, and they probably feel like they're not getting any respect. Go earn yourself some respect and go knock off Texas Tech on Saturday afternoon.
Doug, that beautiful bald head is onto something. I like Iowa over Oregon as well, man. I always talk about it, traveling coast to coast or cross country for the new Big Ten, for whoever's going the furthest. They're at a clear disadvantage. Doesn't mean they're always going to lose, but I think they're not going to play up to their normal standards, and I think that happens this weekend. 6.5-point dog, I think that's not a big number either. I think Vegas knows something. I like Iowa to pull this one out. Our last one, guys. Which program will fill its coaching vacancy first, and with whom?
I see a team like Virginia Tech that is probably a hot commodity among coaches because of the fact it's in the ACC, and the ACC might be an easier path to get to a college football playoff position. And then I start thinking, well, who would fit there? Probably somebody who might have some ties to the East Coast, maybe somebody who's, from that area of town. Okay, check. Somebody who still relatively young and has had success in their coaching career. Yeah, okay, this person's 53. Check. How about somebody that maybe money doesn't matter as much because they just got a massive buyout from the previous stop? Checkity check and check. I think it's James Franklin to Virginia Tech. I think that would make sense. If I were Virginia Tech, I'd try to lock it up right now, get it done, and let's get a head start on recruiting and looking at the portal and getting everything, all your ducks in a row.
Gator, I 100% agree with you, James Franklin of Virginia Tech. And I'll just quickly say, to sum it up, ask yourself this question. How would Penn State football do with a healthy Drew Aller in the ACC this year?
Yeah.
I think they'd like that. I think they'd like that a lot. So James Franklin of Virginia Tech's the one that makes the most sense.
Come on, guys. Let's go more exciting than I'm going completely off the board
Love
here. UCLA with Mike McDaniel when he gets fired from the Dolphins job. All right, he's a California guy, and he's clearly not a pro coach. He can't lead men. He's just that's the issue with him. But can he lead young men? He might actually relate with those guys more. Mike McDaniel, UCLA. And plus, he'll be playing in SoFi. He's familiar.
There you go. Love it. And that concludes the college football blitz thingy.